favorite part of racing is the challenge and pushing the limits and competing against others. It forces you to drive faster, to find new ways of going faster. That kind of excitement is incredible. It's a very impressive piece of art. The story behind it is amazing.
He watches it, that calms him.
What's difficult is finding the right cars, the right environment, the right track, and we have all that here in Area 27. It's been amazing. It's a very technical, physical track, so it's good training. What's important is actually having fun. There's a banked corner, there's off-camber corners, and change of directions where you have to carry the speed and brake at the same time. It was great to see the kids karting because you can see the enthusiasm. It's a very good training track. It teaches you how to run in a pack, your 3D space awareness, with figuring out where the other cars are and how to prepare a move on overtaking, how to also handle pressure and stressful situations. So it teaches you a lot that goes into racing. It's a good school of life as well because you have to kind of perform, always push yourself and always find ways to become better at what you're doing. And it's a destination.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Verdane TV here on a Tuesday night. Little KARTPLEX, Kart Canada iRacing winter action. Running the Mazda Miatas here at Lime Rock Park for 30 minutes on the clock. Been a lot of fun watching these guys run, these guys and gals run here in these Miatas past couple of weeks here on Verdane TV. 2 races left to go in the winter season. Sad in that sense that we aren't going to be seeing too much of the KARTPLEX crew here on Verdane TV, but that's exciting news because that means it's getting warmer outside, getting closer and closer to getting right back out on that go-kart track. Got to give a shout out to KARTPLEX, all the folks over at Area 27 jumping on board with the sponsorship, getting the KARTPLEX Winter Series out into the interwebs, out into the waves, and out into your homes. Thank you so much for tuning in here tonight on a Tuesday night. We're live all over the internet. Showtime Paul Strickland Jr. up here in the broadcast booth here for Verdane TV. We're live on the Facebook page. We're over on YouTube as well, where you can get all of these shows here on Verdane TV on demand, and you can get it up on the big screen on a smart TV, projector, whatever you may be watching your racing action on. We're also live over on the Twitch, twitch.tv/strictly94. Lots of video games and stuff going on over there as well, but no games here tonight. It's all action here at Lime Rock Park. You can see we just wrapped up with the qualifying. Here, 10 minutes open qualifying gives these drivers an opportunity to get around this track 3 or 4 times to try and get themselves a clean lap. One of the things that you got to really focus in on here in the iRacing world, got to make sure those laps are clean. Any incident points will disqualify that lap time, and we saw that become an issue earlier on in the season. But as you can see, not an issue for some of these cats up front. Kevin on the pole, Alex Ho there in 7, Silas Martin, easy enough for me to say, there in 3rd. We're getting them all lined up, ready to rock and roll there on that front straightaway. Standing starts here in the KARTPLEX Winter Series, and you can see the starting order going through your screen. Dean there in 5th, going to round out to top 5. Valentin Crusoe starting in 6th. Sam and Jason there, 7th and 8th. Todd there in 9th. Arthur Chen. And you can hear these drivers really getting those motors ready to rock and roll there in the background. That clock's going to reset to 30 minutes once we take that green flag, and we'll see just how many laps that we'll be able to finish in that 30-minute lap time. We've seen this style here a couple of times throughout the season. standing start, going to give everybody an opportunity to take off at the exact same time. There you can see, great shot there, the 26 car holding on to the pole. 25 cars taking the green flag here tonight. Everybody ranking down throughout the field, ramming those cars up, getting ready to rock and roll here for 30 minutes. Still a little bit under the weather here. You'll probably hear me squeak and squawk all night long, but hey, we're going to get through this together here at Vidane TV. And man, oh man, there you can see getting ready to take that green flag. Everybody ready to rock and roll. Hands on the feet on the throttle. Off that brake. Get those tires to spin just a little bit. Green flag flies. 30 minutes on the clock. We are racing here at Lime Rock Park. Everybody going to thunder on down into turn number 1, and this is going to be a whole lot of fun. One car already off the scene. That's Dean off into the grass there in turn number 1, trying to get a hold of it, doing a little drifty drift action off in the beach area. Oh, that is a tough break. Finally gets it gathered back up. Almost dead last now on the field. Going to hand the lead on over to Kevin still holding on to the lead. Alex O, Silas Martin, top 3. Curtis in the Kurt F rather in a 10 car back there in 4th. How about the 161 of Fountain up in the top 5. Sam, Jason still there as well. Pretty much single file throughout the field as everybody gets lined up. You're going to click off some laps. You can kind of follow along there on the right-hand side of your screen where your favorite driver is running on track. Those numbers represent the numbers on the car inside those little bubbles around the track. You can see just how not quite a technical track that we've seen here. This is one of the faster road courses, a lot of long straightaways, a couple of quick little chicanes there on the backside of the track in turn 1 and 2. Kind of, S's going up and through here, but still a very fast racetrack, very quick road course. You can see almost 3 wide getting to the cars. Oh, big contact between the 14 and the Reese's car. That is a tough break for those drivers. Looks like Mike Ab and Ash getting a piece of the action there. Corey Richardson getting some. Racetrack turnout. Robbie going to come up through and pass. There's the Reese's machine of Corey Richardson trying to gather it back up and get back out on track. Oh, hitting the bumps there. The sausages reaching out and trying to get Kevin there. As we saw in the driver chat, the Wizard giving these drivers a little bit of lights, lots of chicanes, lots of different things that you can hit on the racetrack, cones and bumpers and speed bumps and all sorts of things all the way around the racetrack. You can see the front 3 have kind of pulled away just a little bit. Kurt F10 there in that 10 car, just a little bit further on back in 4th, rounding out the top 5, going to be Fountain. And he's got Sam in behind him, T-O-double-D, in the 007 car. Todd having a good run up in the top 10. He's up 2 spots from where he qualified. Arthur Chen, Rafa right up in behind there as well. Jason and Paulo in the 19 and the 77. They are lined up. They're side by side, it looks like, in the the 77 car is going to be Paul. That's the Wizard in the 93 car, the 528 of Jackie doing a little side-by-side action in those Mazdas. And that's one of the cool things, A, about the Mazdas, and B, about Lime Rock. Lots of room here to maneuver around this racetrack, and lots of racing ability with these Miatas. Lots of beating and banging. We've seen these cars can take an absolute beating throughout 30 minutes of time on the clock. Has a good shot at Dan in the 74 car. Audio C, I believe, in the 22, 4 spots gain. Look at all that chrome. Extra 10 horsepower for each square inch of chrome on that car for sure. Marcos and Dean doing a little rubbing and racing back here in the 11 and the 87. Dean sliding all the way back on through the field, dropped 13 spots from up in the top. There's a little bit more contact between these two drivers, the 11 and the 87. Oh, there's a shot into the quarter panel, spinning the 87 on a round. They get caught up. Another driver gets caught up in there as well. I believe that's Marcos. Calamity in the back of the pack, not able to get it going. There they go. They finally get those cars separated. A little bit of extracurricular activities. Corey Richardson in the 86 car is going to be able to pull up and get a little bit of that 17 car. Kmart having some issues there. All this in the rearview mirror of Kevin in the 26. He's got Alex Ho right on his rear bumper. Where have we heard that story before, huh, folks? Seen that happen a lot here on Tuesday night here on Vidane TV. Good run for the 10 car, moving on up into that podium position. Holding on to P3 right now for Kurt F, Silas Martin, and Sam, rounding out the top 5. Valentine still on the outside, looking in right where he qualified in that 6th position. But you can see right on the back bumper there of that 88 is Todd, of Sam rather. Always cool to see, always cool to kind of follow along, see where these drivers are on track. Take an onboard look here of the number 50 of Arthur Chen. You can see just how these cars operate, crossing the start-finish line there. You can see wide open, getting on down underneath the bridge here into turn number 1. Little onboard action just up to the bumpers over on the right-hand side. Nice and easy on the throttle. Feather it back on. Sunday driving for the number 50 car. Just kind of getting used to the car, getting a little heat into the tires, and to see what that amounts to. A little bit more aggressive in there behind the 73 of Rafa, doing a little bit of battle with Jason in the 19 car. 6 minutes down, 24 to go here, and you can see the front two have kind of broken away. Third place right now, Kurt F10 in that number 10 car, kind of by himself on the track. You can see Silas Martin a couple car lengths back. Rafa having himself a little bit of an off-track incident back in that 10th position. You can see still racing hard in that 73 car. Jason right up in front, the Wizard right in behind. Those drivers putting on a little bit of a show, and a little bit of a show here just inside the top 10. Here you see T.O.D.D. Todd up in the 007 car. A little side-by-side action with Valen in the 161. Or check that is the 58 going a lap down. That's Warren in the 58 car, that lime green car. A little side-by-side action. How about that, getting into the chicanes here? These guys all utilizing every inch of the racetrack. A little off track there for the 19 car of Jason, but he gathers it back up, and he's able to hold on to it. Good track position there on the inside of the 73 of Rafa. You can see he's going to gain that position and put himself back into ninth. -1 so far overall. Racetrack Robbie back in the 23 car. 7 spots gained from where he qualified. Looks like he's going to try and take another one here from the 22 of Audio C. And moving on up. Biggest mover of the race so far. +8 from the start of the race as we get close to that 10-minute marker. Love watching these Miatas race around these road courses. We made mention, very similar. They drive very similar to the go-karts that you see all over the world, really. Likes low weights, low center of gravity, and high speeds and high torque, and lots of action with these cars, and they can take a beating. We've seen these drivers here in the KARTPLEX Winter iRacing Series do a little bit of battle with these race cars. Front bumpers, back bumpers, sides, doors, all up, side to side, bumper to bumper, beating and banging all the way through the field, and still able to put on a heck of a show and have themselves a phenomenal finish. Up front, still Kevin Ho and Kurt F, the top 3. Martin and Crossaw, the top 5. You can see Sam Chen, Todd, Jason, and Rafa going to be the top 10 as they run right now. You can see a little 3-car pack here. 4th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. Everybody trying to, or check that, 8th, 9th, and 10th. Todd leading this 3-pack. Jason and Rafa right in behind them. They're trying to chase down. There you can see a good shot of Arthur Chen in the 50 car. 88 car here of Sam, kind of all by themselves. And then back up here, you got the 161 of Valentin. Got around the 88 car of Sam and back into the top 5 for that 161 car. Now that's their sights set on Silas Martin. Taking a quick peek, though. It looks like Kmart may have had a little bit of an issue. Going to be down on pit road calling for that quick repair in the 17 car. Kmart going to be down on pit road for the time being. We'll see if they can get back out on track there. It's a good shot of Kevin, though, already not even 10 minutes into this race, getting ready to come up on some lap traffic. And that's not to say that there's an issue with the car coming up. I believe that's Paulo. It is indeed the 77 car of Paulo getting ready to go a lap down there in 22nd position. Nothing potentially wrong with the 77 car. It's just that 26 of Kevin is hooked up. He's won a bunch of races here on Verdane TV in the KARTPLEX Canadian Kart Series, and showing that he is very, very quick in these Miatas. So picking up some quick lap times, putting them down, and putting down laps here as well. 8.5 laps into this one. And remember, folks, laps don't really much matter too much. What we're doing, 30 minutes on the clock, we're going to take the white flag when we hit that 30-minute marker, and whoever leads the race at the checkered flag at that point in time wins the race. A little bit different style than we're used to here at Vitae TV, but it's been working out, been putting on a great show as of late here on Tuesday nights with the KARTPLEX Canadian iRacing Kart League. There you see Alex Ho in second. Plenty of room all the way around the racetrack to maneuver, try a couple of things if need be. There's Kurt F10, same for them there in the 10 car. 6/10 of a second, or 6 seconds rather, back behind the leader. A couple of other drivers getting a quick repair. Aiden Nelms, it looks like Audio C in the 22 down there as well. And you can see Kurt F10 a little bit of a distance behind them, and Racetrack Robbie and Warren having a little bit of an issue, it looks like, on track. See if we can take a little look, see Racetrack Robbie able to gather it back up. So good news there. But Silas Martin back to 5th. Loses one of those spots to that 161. Valentin setting his sights on the front. Side-by-side battle, the 19 car pulling up on the 161, trying to get that position back. You see the 161 sliding back in position there, back to 8th, as these drivers do battle around Lime Rock Park. And you can see not quite done yet. Going to try and get that position back. Going to take a peek on the inside here, the 007 here of Todd. And you can see going to really try and outbrake Todd going into the corner. Seems to have worked out, getting into the chicane, getting through those S's there underneath the bridge, down the hill, up through the hill, down to this big wide right-hand corner. Pretty awesome track here at Lime Rock Park, actually in my home state here of Connecticut, up in the northeast part of the country. So pretty cool to see a group of folks racing go-karts out in Western Canada, doing a little sim racing action here on the East Coast here in the States. And that's the kind of the beauty here, folks, of iRacing. You can check it out, iRacing.com. All the new members, you can get a 40% discount just by signing up. Lots of different racing styles, lots of road racing, NASCAR styles, ovals, dirt. There's some stadium trucks, stadium super trucks, all sorts of cool stuff in the iRacing service. Comes with a handful of tracks and cars, so you can get your feet wet out there on track, race with your buddies, and who knows, get up in an open room and maybe race with somebody famous out on the service. We saw that great opening video from Area 27 with Jacques Villeneuve. He's on the iRacing service all the time, so you never know who you may bump into up in the front. Not bumping into anybody up here for the 26 car. Kevin driving off into the sunset. You can see another lap car, the 14 car of Mike Abb. Or check that, that's the 61 of Ash going a lap down. Kevin going to hold on to the lead. 3 seconds now up in front of the 84 car of Alex Ho. Kurt F10 still holding on to that 3rd spot. Silas Martin and Sam going to be the top 5 drivers as they run. You can see the 68-1 car trying to regather, get that thing back hooked up on the pavement. A little battle here for 4th and 5th. A little further back, Arthur Chen trying to hold off these hard chargers here. Valentin in the 161, Todd in the 007, 19 car of Jason. Roth is back here as well in the 73 car, a little bit further on back, has himself a really good viewpoint of that battle for about 5th on back to 9th. The Wizard making himself trying to get up into the top 10, running 11th right now, but heading in the right direction. 3 spots gained. Jackie there in the 528 car, the Burger King ride, going to be running in the 12th position. There you see Gray in the 25 running at 13th, Dan in 14th there in the 74 car. How about Racetrack Robbie? Still the biggest mover of the race so far in that 23 car, currently running in 15th. And back started almost shotgun on the field. 9 spots gained from where they qualified. Corey Richardson in that Reese's car saw an off track with that 86 machine, gathering it back up and trying to get a little track position to happen, but tough to do that back here in 16th. Mike Avena 14, couple of spots gained in the 17th spot. 77 car Apollo right in behind them, and cool little paint scheme there. A little bit of chrome action on the side of that thing. There you see Dean in the 87 car. Saw Ash in the 61 have some issues. Audio C in the 22 still out on track. Marcos in the 11 back out there on track as well. But they're all trying to chase down Kevin here in the lead. Four seconds now the lead over Alex Ho there in second. About 5 seconds on back now to Kurt F10 in third. Silas Martin a little bit closer, but still quite a distance back. Has a lap car in between the two. 14 and a half minutes left to go here at Lime Rock Park. Sam in the 88 still holding on to that top 5 spot. And you can see kind of spread out just a little bit here at Lime Rock Park. One of the cool things about this racetrack is it's wide open. Very long straightaways, kind of long drifting corners, so you can really drive these things super, super hard. Valentin, the 161, getting on through here pretty good, and you can see that 3-car battle back here for 7th, 8th, and 9th. Jason has himself a great vantage point of that little onboard action, if you will. The 19-car of Jason, and you can see he's got his sights set. There's a couple of positions up in front of him. You see a lap car down on the right side, just going to hit the brakes a little bit early. You can see getting on down through the chicanes, right up onto the back bumper. It's Todd in that 007 car, right up in front, and he's really utilizing the steering wheel and the throttle, trying to get up to the top bumper there of the 007 car. See if he can get in and up and around, try and gain a position or two, and at least put him back to where he qualified there in the 8th position. Past the halfway marker here. Looks like 13 laps to go at Lime Rock Park. Click off laps here. 15 and a half laps Kevin's done so far. That is our leader. That's the 26 car. Clicking laps around here like it's his job. Very quick in that 26 car. Helped us out in the booth here in a couple of weeks. Still on the mend here myself in the booth. Got a little bit of a cough, a little bit of a rasp, and a little bit, I don't know what the heck it was, some kind of cold, but doing pretty good. Got the Alka-Seltzer on tap here tonight. A couple of cough drops, and we are calling some action here. I want to thank again everybody for tuning in here tonight on Twitch, on Facebook, on YouTube. We're live all over the internet. Be sure to give us a like, a subscribe, a share, all that good stuff. Let your friends and family know you're watching a little bit of entertaining iRacing action here on a Tuesday night live on Vidane TV. These cats here in the KARTPLEX Canadian Winter Series have been putting on shows for us here late Tuesday nights for a couple of weeks now, maybe a month, 2 months, and we've got one more race here, I believe, after this one. So it's great to see these guys kind of join together, guys and gals join together from the local racetrack, from the local go-kart track, and jump on into the iRacing service here and really keep all the skill sets, all the tools sharp. Everything you need to run a go-kart, to race at an actual racetrack, all the tools are here in iRacing. As you can see, the 88 car hitting those bumpers and trying to get away there, it looked like, from the car in behind, trying to pull up on track. But these Miatas, very, very similar to the go-karts that we see some of these drivers run. And it's a nice, healthy mix of drivers that are from the go-kart track and from iRacing. And that's the beauty of it, right? If you've got a high-speed internet connection and a steering wheel, you can pretty much jump into the iRacing world and find yourself a private league, do some pickup races, whatever it is that suits your fancy. And these drivers have chose to put on a heck of a show here for us on Tuesday nights. Great shot there of the 37 of Silas Martin, trying to kind of close in on that podium spot. You can see a couple of lap cars up in front, about a second or so back to the 88 car to Sam, and maybe 4 or so seconds up towards the third position to Kurt F in the 10 car there in third. And everybody is still at this point chasing down Kevin in the 26. Less than 10 minutes to go already. Clicking off laps as we get down to the nitty-gritty. 18 and a half laps on the ticker so far for those lead lap cars. There you can see a good shot of Alex Ho. 7 seconds back behind the leader, and that doesn't mean he's down and out just yet. We've seen multiple times here on iRacing and here on Vidane TV that late race incidents can definitely happen. They've happened here. It looks like the Wizard going to have a little bit of an incident. 93 car going to pull it on down into the pits. We'll take a peek there at that 37 car of Silas Martin, currently running in 4th, trying to chase down a top 3 finish. A little bit further on back, you got Sam there from Wellington, New Zealand, running in the 5th position. Valentin, 161, was able to claw back into the top 6 or so, but seems he was kind of stalled out there in the 161. Going to hold on to that 6th position right now. Arthur Chen in the 50, right in behind there. Jason in the 19 car, going to lose a position, it looks like, to Todd, T-O-double-D, in that 007 car. As you can see, that's the battle on your screen. Arthur Chen, Valentin, and 161, they're kind of going back and forth now here with 8.5 or so left to race on track. The 50 car going to hold on to the position, getting into it. And you can see that 161 didn't even touch the brake pedal going on into it. Going to use the momentum of the car to try and get that thing to set. And there you can see the 50 kind of double tapping the brake to almost get the weight offset right on the right front tire of that car. But the 161, take a peek at this as they come into the corners, very light on the brake pedal for the 161. Onboard action with that 161 of Valentin. You can see all over now the back bumper of the 50. You can see those bright red lights on the back of the car as we get down through the S's. Right turn, left turn. Oh, hold on to a little bit of a wiggly wobbly there for the 161 car. Down in through this big right-hander, quick part of the racetrack right here, up to 4th gear, right up into the back bumper. Is he going to take the momentum on the outside? He is going to cross that Lime Rock Park logo. And man, this is a drag race down into it. Who's going to get on the brakes late? We saw the 161 hasn't really been using that brake pedal. There's a little bit of a tap of it there as he slides in front of that Arthur Chan machines. Move that 161 back into the 6th position. The 50 of Arthur back into 7th. And all in the meantime, these guys still racing back here for 8th and 9th. Jason and Todd going back and forth, swapping position, swapping paint, trading paint, if you will, and putting on a show here for us at Vidane TV. 7 minutes to go here on track. Wizard rejoins the field there in the 93 car, back in about 14th position or so, and actually looks like Valentin having an issue in the 161 car, calling for a tow truck. We'll see if we can get a quick replay on that, and there you see it, an off-track incident for the 161. Got in there just a little bit too hot, got into there, got the sausages up into the undercarriage, got off into the dirt there, and spun that thing around, called for the tow truck. Man, that is frustrating. As hard as that 161 car was being driven, tough to see that thing parked off into the beach. But man, oh man, everybody trying to chase down Kevin here in the 26. Alex Ho in 2nd. Kurt F10 there in 3rd. And that gap is starting to shrink just a little bit. As we can see, it's about a second now between 2nd and 3rd. Kurt F10 setting his sights now on that 2nd place driver, Alex Ho. And blood in the water, there you can see him up in front. That's the lap car right in front there. I do believe Alex Ho there you see peeking out that 84 on the right-hand side of that car. So the 10 car has to get around the 93 car of the Wizard to try and gain a little bit of track position. 6 minutes to go now in this one. These guys battling it out for 2nd and 3rd, 9 seconds behind the leader. Kevin has checked out, and very smooth in that 26 car. But there you can see this is, in fact, the race for 2nd. Ash having some issues in the 61 car. Finding the beach down in the grass. Going to gather it back up, grab a gear, get going. Once again, struggling with the handling on that car here this evening. But a couple of guys that aren't struggling up in front. Alex Ho and Kurt F10. That 10 car now has himself a clear viewpoint of that back bumper of the 84 car. And you can see that gap shrinking as we get into the S's here. Alex Ho holding on to it in the 84 car, but Kurt F10 in that 10 car wants that 2nd position. 5 minutes left to go in this one, and these drivers doing everything they can to try and get up to the back bumper and try and gain as many positions as they can. And you can see just there's the gap between second and third. It was over a second. Now it's about 0.7 of a second, and we'll see just what goes down here. Big right-hand turn getting into this one. You can see they both get onto the braking point about the same time getting into it, so they don't have much of a gap shortening up there on the 10 car. But there you see the exit, the 10 car, very strong, very smooth, trying to take some of that momentum and kind of shift it up. We got a problem with the leader. Kevin getting caught up, it looks like, with some of the lap traffic. Little bit of an issue. You can see that timing and scoring ticker dropping, now down under 8 seconds, and it looks like it's going to level it back out. Smoke in the water. Jason in the 19 car having some issues. He's going to peel off down pit road here with 4 minutes to go. Back to second, though. These drivers, the heaviest battle on track, it looks like, is in fact for second place. Alex Ho, Kurt F10 going back and forth for that second spot. They've got a little bit of gaining, a little bit of track position gain on that leader, but it looks like Kevin going to start pulling away once again now that he's gotten around that lap traffic. Ho and Kurt F10 going to have to get through that same lap traffic if they do in fact have enough time to get there. But battling it out here, getting on down into that turn, that first turn, once again a wide right-hander, and Kurt F going to stick right in the tire tracks of that 84 car for the time being. Beautiful blimp shot here at Lime Rock Park here in northwestern Connecticut. And it's awesome to see these folks getting together from Western Canada, racing on some of the tracks here on the East Coast here. You'd never be able to do it without iRacing. And this is something you want to check out, iRacing.com. New members, 40% off. They're running a promo right now. Check it out. Let them know Vidane TV sent you. And, man, we can get you hooked up with some private leagues. Anybody wants to get out here, do some broadcast racing, we can make that happen here in the virtual world. Man, just taking a peek through these chicanes here, doesn't look like Kurt has enough to get up. You can see overdriving the car just a little bit, knowing that the clock is running out of time here in this 30-minute race at Lime Rock Park. And we've made mention we don't really pay attention to the laps too much, except for that last one. But if you're counting at home, 25 laps on the board here so far with 2.5 minutes to run. And you can take a peek here at Kevin in the 26 car, kind of driving off into the sunset with this one. Had himself almost a 10-second lead, got caught up with a couple of lap cars. They got a little side-by-side action up in front of him, and they gathered it back up, and he's been able to drive away just a little bit. And taking a peek, looking at the timing and scoring, looking like we're having some issues with the second and third place car, as not able to pull them up on track here. It looks like they're actually dropping through the field. See if we can pull up an incident here. So there you see that battle for second, backing up the replay. Less than 2 minutes to go here on track, and everything looking A-okay, looking like a connection issue potentially. Nope, back on track, so it looks like some heavy connection issues, but those two drivers back into second and third. Everybody chasing down Kevin in that 26 car. And you can see having himself a little bit of lap traffic. 8 cars here on the lead lap with 1 minute and 15 left to go. And you can see Kevin doing everything he can, almost at that 10-second of a lead over the two drivers there in second and third. And you can see Silas Martin has been able to get by. It looks like we're still having some connection issues with the 10 car as well as the 84. As we see that happen from time to time in the iRacing service. Everybody on different internet connections, and gets a little bit wonky every now and again. But less than a minute left to go here. 45 seconds on the clock for Kevin in that 26 car. Currently being scored in second, going to be the 37 of Silas Martin. Arthur Chan in the 50 car up to third. And we will take a peek and see this time by if we get the white flag or if we're going to go one mulligan. You can see crossing the stripe, getting that white flag, a white rag, a last lap here at Lime Rock Park, and this is big. Kevin has himself quite a bit of a lead here, and everything looking good for that 26 car. Still trying to figure out what's going on with the 84 car of Ho, and the other car are up in the top 10, the 10 car of Kurt F10. Just being shown not on track. So I'm not entirely sure what's going on with that. But one thing I'm definitely sure of is that 26 car here of Kevin driving off into the sunset, picking himself up another victory here. Might have to have him sit this championship race out next week and join us up here in the broadcast booth. We'll see how things perspire here over the next 7 days. But there you can see that 26 car coming back down into that final long straightaway, and there you can see it, the checkered flag inside that bridge up ahead, that start-finish line here at Lime Rock Park. Doing a little wiggly wobbly, and he's not falling down. That 26 car doing a little shuffle, getting on down into turn number 1, coming home with the victory here tonight. Solid performance for that 26 car. Going to park it there in the turn 1, and man, great run for Kevin. So we get these drivers to get back out here on track or get back across that start-finish line and get themselves all sorted out. But it looks like we have actually been joined already here by our winner. It's going to be Kevin in that 26 car. And Kevin, solid performance here tonight. Man, you drove off into the sunset on this one, and looks like we might have had a connection issue there with Alex and Kurt back in second and third. So we got to get that lined up. But one thing we do know, that 26 car parked it in victory lane once again. Talk to us, man. Congratulations.
Hey, yeah. Just a really solid race. That's all that it was. Noticed that in practice and in quali, we really had the pace, doing both my fastest laps in each session without a draft. So I knew that I honestly had the pace, even to lead, without the draft. And in the end, I was just able to chip away every lap, build out that gap, and have quite a comfortable gap in the end.
Absolutely, and we're seeing ourselves a little bit of a trend here. The 26 car quick here in the in these Miatas. Is this something that you may have run maybe outside of the league potentially to get a little heads up on, or is it just a lot of practice, a lot of talent here in these Miatas?
No, I mean, I've never run any closed wheel cars outside on the track, just mostly rally stuff. But and as for practice, I mean, I always try and prep a little bit, but in this specific weekend, I was out working with our race team, Race Lab in Phoenix, and then just got in yesterday and tried to put in some laps before today's race, and it seemed to be enough practice.
Absolutely, definitely seems to have showed here tonight, and with the real racing right around the corner, we're finally going to start to get some of this snow to melt, get some warm weather out there. What have we got going on in the real world?
I've got a season of French F4 to look forward to. That's being funded by Feed Racing, Area 27, and a bunch of other sponsors, Race Lab, Select Fuel, ECU Works, Salt Esports. Yeah, all of my sponsors. I've been hard at work trying to find the funding for the season, and it looks like it's starting to amalgamate into something here.
And that's one of the cool things, being able to get a little bit of support from some of your friends. Any friends and family out there watching at home you want to say hi to? The microphone's all yours.
Yep, always my family. Got to thank my family for watching, friends, and the sponsors that I listed earlier there. All a huge part of my racing program, and I wouldn't be able to do this without them.
Absolutely, and a solid run here tonight. Great performance for the 26 car. Kevin, congratulations, man. Go celebrate.
Yep, thank you very much.
And we'll slide it a little bit further on down pit road. Second place driver going to be that 37 car, Zylis Martin. Zylis, great run here towards the finish. Looks like we may have had some connection issues up somewhere in the top 5, but able to take advantage of that. Come home with a second place finish. Not too shabby. See if we can get hooked up with Zylis here. There we go. I think we got the microphone unmuted.
Got me now?
There we go. Nailed it.
Oh yeah, we got push to talk issues. I during the race I had my push to talk set, my iRacing settings got messed up, and it was my ignition kill switch. So I tried to talk to lap cars a couple times and shut off my vehicle, so that wasn't great. And then I got the slowdown penalty on the second lap there, so I fell back a bunch of positions and lost the draft, and then got lucky on those two guys losing connection, which is not the way I like to take the positions, but it's just how it went.
Yeah, and able to get decent points night here tonight, coming home in a second. Get to talk to us here in the Turn 4 podcast post-race show, which is always a little bit of a perk. And heading into it, looks like we got one more race on the schedule here for the season, and then we're going to start concentrating on the real racing stuff. You got anything for us for next week in that 37?
Yeah, I'm excited to race next week. I think it's Laguna, so that's a fun track. And then our race season in real life has started, so stuff to look forward to there.
And that's always fun. Always cool to kind of take a little bit of a break in the warm inside, racing on iRacing, but nothing beats motorsports at the actual racetrack. So it's cool that is kicking off in a big way. It seems like in that area. So I just want to give you an opportunity here to hold on to the microphone. Anybody out there watching, friends, family, sponsors, microphone's all yours.
Yeah, I'd like to thank my real world backers, Race Lab VI and Rayum Brothers Racing for supporting me for this karting season, and then you guys for announcing. It's a thankless job, and it's pretty awesome. And then just my family and everyone who helps out.
Absolutely. We got to thank you for putting on a heck of a show here for us on a Tuesday night. Always fun to watch up and to the front. But second place here after some connection issues. Hey, we'll take it. On to the next one. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
And last but not least, 7 spots gained here on the night. The number 50 car of Axon Driver Solutions. Arthur Chan, I believe this is the first time you've talked to us here after one of these races with a top 3. Arthur, talk to us about your race.
Hey, Paul. Yeah, the race was pretty straightforward, I guess, just focused on keeping consistent laps. Had a couple of battles that went pretty well, keeping some faster people behind as long as I could. Yeah, just picking up the spots as people made errors or had bad luck with tires. It's too bad 2 of my teammates, Curtis and Alex, looks like they had internet connection problems as they race on site at Axon in Richmond, and it's pretty bad luck that they took both of them out. So pretty surprised to end up on the podium, but it's nice to be here.
Yeah, 100%. We'll take it, right? But a great race here at Lime Rock Park. Kind of a nice wide open racetrack, and I believe we're off Laguna next week for the final race of the iRacing season, which it's always sad to kind of come to the end of an iRacing season. But as we've kind of talked about here throughout the show this evening, it means real racing season's right around the corner, and that's what one of the things I'm really excited here for as well. What's going on in the real racing world for the Arthur Chan camp?
Well, our team's going in to do the iRacing Bathurst 12-hour this weekend, so we're entering 3 cars there, so looking forward to that. A couple of us are preparing for the Porsche Canada Esports series coming up, and in the real world, I do a lot of autocross here in Vancouver. It's probably my main favorite pastime, so looking for another good full season with VCMC Motorsport Club here.
Awesome. Full schedule, it sounds like, and that's not necessarily a bad problem to have. But pretty cool to be able to check that out. And we'll give you an opportunity here, Arthur. Anybody that may be watching at home, friends, family, sponsors, microphone's all yours.
Thanks to Axon Driver Solutions for their support always. And a big shout out to the organizers of this league, Kart Canada, all the organizers. And of course, it wouldn't be the same without the broadcasters, you, Paul, and Vidane TV.
Always a pleasure. And congratulations, podium finish here tonight at Lime Rock Park. Give us a little celebration there later on.
Will do. Thanks, Paul.
Absolutely. And that's going to wrap it up here for us. KARTPLEX coming on in and heading on out. One more race in the season here on a Tuesday night. Taking just a last look here at the final running order. Kevin Zilas and Arthur, top 3. We talked to them here on the Turn 4 podcast post-race show. TODD going to round out in 4th. Rafa going to jump up into 5th. And you made mention, a couple of drivers made mention, having some connection issues for Alex and Kurt. So those drivers are going to drop outside the top 10. That's a tough break. It's one of the things that you kind of struggle with here in the iRacing world, unfortunately. But nonetheless, that's going to do it here for us tonight. Another doubleheader tomorrow night, Corner Motorsports. Tim's Corner Motorsports is... Timmy's not going to be around, so me and Dylan are going to be running the show. Left the keys at the castle, and we're going to have ourselves a guest and a good time. Special 6:30 p.m. Eastern time, start time tomorrow night. RBR Maritime Group coming at us from Oxford Plains Speedway, and then Thursday night, New England, Pennsylvania, iRacing. Shift Marketing and Design Grand National Series is going to be joining us from the New Smyrna Speedway at 8:22 p.m. Eastern time. That is going to be an absolute blast. But that's going to do it here for us tonight on the Verdane TV. The coverage for KARTPLEX Kart Canada iRacing Winter Series coming to a close. We'll catch you on the flip side. And when we do, we are going to be doing it live.